But I got status too. Sucker. Got here. Oh, swords? Oh shit! Oh, they're killing me. Oh, I killed him. Oh my god! Did I get one of them? Oh, another guy. Same dude. Oh, same guy, same guy. He can't get me though. I'm dodging everything. Oh, shit, this is great. He's running. He's just shouting. Oh, it's a different guy. Oh, it's a different guy. Oh, it's a source. Oh, like not beat him too? Yeah. Got him. Ooh. Oh, it's a flame firebolt source. Mortal. Oh, I froze it. Oh, I froze it. Oh, I froze it. Can't get me, I'm dodging. Oh, I smacked him.
Time to do that. I'm low on energy.
Hey everyone, welcome to another build video. It's actually my first Diablo 4 build video. I wanted to show you a unique build that I've made that makes you pretty much invulnerable in PvP. You're pretty much invulnerable in also PvE, except for status effects. So this game is interesting. I come from Division 2 to Diablo 4. I've noticed a couple differences with this game that I enjoy more than Division. I'm going to walk through that in a bit. But first, I'm going to show you this build. So this build right now says it is 77% dodge chance. However, what that means is that it basically has a chance of not receiving direct damage. And when you're 70, 60 even percent, most of the time you're not going to take any damage. You'll see in the later videos this actually goes up to 87, and with other perks it actually can go up past 100, but I think the max is 100. So this build hits pretty hard as well. I've masterworked everything to the max. You can see the resistances are maxed, and you can see the crit strike damage is 2500. Chance is a bit low, 31%, but that's not an issue. And you can see other sort of attributes here, such as movement speed is 179%. So pretty good overall. I enjoy this build. There's also a good chance to apply status effects to your opponents. So for example, chance to freeze is going to be down here. And that's 21%. Chance to stun 42, 56 for immobilize. I have some parent reduction, but that doesn't matter. So how this build works is you can see here, every piece of gear I have tempered dodge chance. So dodge chance is something you can add on top of your 3 other attributes. So always go for dodge chance, especially on the helm, the chest piece, the pants, boots, and then amulet. Okay, so that should get you substantial dodge chance to begin with. Now the one thing you want to also look for is, for example, you want to look for dodge chance on your pants, naturally. So this one I had a greater affix of, for dodge chance on the pants, and same for my boots. So that's, something that you want to look for that will boost your dodge chance up. Okay, and the other thing is, of course, you're going to have to masterwork, and you're going to have to go for dodge chance as, the 4th rank, the 8th rank, and the 12th rank as much as possible. For some of this, I got kind of lucky. I had dodge chance rolled 3 times. For my pants, I had dodge chance rolled 4 times actually, because I have dodge chance twice there. And then for this one, same thing, I had dodge chance rolled 3 times. So got pretty lucky there. You can see here also my amulet rolled 3 times for dodge chance. So how this build works as well, you want to put on things such as this one here. It's called the Archon Helm of the Crowded Sage. So you have 8% chance increased dodge chance, and successful dodges restore 20% of your life. This is actually very useful because for the off chance that you are losing life from either status effects or getting hit once, every time you dodge, you're basically healing, and so you essentially cannot die from this one aspect here. Okay, and then this is nice because I use this over the other one where you get damage reduction, mainly because the barrier actually removes any status effects, which is your own one and only weakness for this build. So getting a barrier when you're hitting a elite, whether it's a player or elite that's a ad, you're going to get that barrier, and that barrier can absorb that status effect, can help you restore back to your normal health. Okay, you definitely want attack speed, so you'll see as you do your attacks, you're going to use basic, and then you're going to do a rapid arrows as your main damage source. Okay, so for the leggings, you're going to use assimilation. This is again boosting your dodge chance, and then when you do dodge, you also fortify. So imagine this proccing 10%, and then this also proccing when you dodge for the Archon Helm for life and fortify at the same time. Alright, and then this is just general DPS for boots, which is usually rare. Basically, when you damage an enemy, there's a 20% chance to daze them, and you do 20% increase damage to dazed enemies. Now this is comboed with my amulet, which is the Amulet Uncanny Treachery. And you can see here, if we're dealing damage to a dazed enemy, and we use our agility effect, which is Shadow Step, we gain Stealth, which basically means that we cannot be targeted at all. We're definitely invulnerable for those 4 seconds. But once you break it, you add 23% chance, dodge chance on top of your current dodge chance, which makes you again invulnerable. So this is useful because you daze someone, you shadow step them, you're basically invulnerable for 6 seconds. And you can repeat that every time you shadow step. Okay, so that's pretty much covers all the dodge chance stuff. The rest is sort of like DPS things for just damage. So you need Scoundrel's Kiss because we're a rapid fire build. So you want to get plus ranks to rapid fire. We have imbuement for shooting out cold arrows, things like that. And then this is interesting actually as a synergy where you get 28% attack speed after you dodge an attack, which is pretty much all the time. So your attack speed is pretty high. All right. And then of course Scoundrel's Kiss at 25% lobbing of exploding arrows. That's huge. Okay, and then for my other ring, I use Accelerating Loop. And basically, critical strikes with core skills increase your attack speed. So every time I shoot my rapid fire, I get more attack speed. So pretty much I would think at 100% at this point. You want to look for attributes like dexterity, attack speed, crit damage on these rings. And then for my tempers, I rolled a Cold Imbue for 2 additional casts and then more crit strike damage. Okay, for my weapons, I'm using a bow for the distant damage. Of course, you want to roll dexterity, max life. You can probably forego max life in this one, but I just have it for the heck of it. And then crit strike damage. And then, of course, very important is the temper to have chance to rapid fire projectiles to cast twice. This is also really powerful with crit strike damage as your second temper, obviously. Okay, and then the aspect here is rapid fire has 88% chance to ricochet to another target, just because we're using it. So most likely it can bounce to other targets. For this one, I'm using Doombringer just because I wanted more life in case I do get hit with status effects and I didn't want to be too squishy. So that gave me more of that. It gives me core damage as well for my rapid fire. And then up to 5% chance to heal, just for the heck of it. This also does shadow damage, and then reducing their damage by 20% as a lucky hit. And then finally, my last weapon is just a sword, and it's going to be dexterity, max life, crit damage, with again crit strike damage and rapid fire projectiles to cast twice as my tempers. You can see here as the aspect is after attacking enemies with basic skill, you increase your damage of your core skill cast within 5 seconds by 10%, up to 30%. So this basically boosts my rapid fire by 30%. Okay, this is the build. Now, because we don't care about too much max life, just enough, I've rolled dexterity gems on all my pieces here for where you typically put on max life gems. So green gems all across, so that you can increase your dexterity. My dexterity is 2,227. For the weapons, I use crit strike damage gems, so you can see that. So 4 of those guys. And then finally, because I have enough resistances generally across, I just have a general resistance, gems here. Now you can see here what's really off is the armor. I have way too much armor. I think the cap is 9,000-ish. So I'm about 4,000 over. I'm just using it because I have these pretty nice helms and chest pieces that I wanted to utilize, but of course those could be better if it's like something else other than armor. Don't need that much armor because I am at max essentially. So this build is not perfect, or my build is not perfect, but once you optimize, I'm sure you could get more dexterity or more attack power and less armor. But yeah, this build works pretty well. I've gone into PvP areas and pretty much no one can kill me. I can stand there and people just constantly hitting me and no direct damage is taken. Actually, the more they attack me, the more I gain back. So it's pretty powerful. In terms of specializations, I use combo points because you want to shoot your rapid fire after 3 basic skill attacks. And then the whole skill tree and Paragon points is actually based off the meta build for rapid fire. So I didn't change much here. I'll glance through it quickly, but you can follow the build guide online for this. I use Heart Seeker for my basic, right? For just the ability to do homing and seeking. And that way I can guarantee 3 combo points for 3 fires. And then I want to put all my ranks onto rapid fire, obviously. Okay, and you can see here I use enhanced and advanced. Okay, some other stuff here. I use sturdy. I use shadow step to proc that dazed aspect. So you can see here I use enhanced and discipline. I use rugged and reactive. I use caltrops as well because that's going to just amplify your damage when you drop something. It also increases the damage, so this is pretty important. And I use enhanced and methodical. Also on the side, I use weapon mastery as well. Okay, so of course this is super important as well. Like in case you do get hit, the Dark Shroud gives you maximum damage reduction up to 5. And you can see here I also have enhanced and subverting. Okay, I use agile and I use concealment. I don't use concealment actually. I replaced it with the previous one, which is shadow step. Okay, exploit and malice. And then finally cold imbuement, that's gonna apply the chill effect through my arrows. So I use this quite a bit just to freeze people. And it's great because once you hit them one time, they're pretty much frozen where they're at, and you can finish them off with another rapid fire. Same for, and then this is also a frigid finesse to proc that. Okay, and then finally, I don't use any ultimates because it's not needed. But there's some adrenaline rush I'm using just to get the haste. So it gives me more movement speed, and then precision is what I use. So that basically guarantees like crit strike deals more damage. So right now I'm at 428 X on that one. So all right, that's the build. So the second part of the video is really like talking about this game compared to Division 2. So what I like about this game is definitely different. Obviously, it's not a third-person shooter. But what I like about it is similarity is like the build system. So you can see here, this has a few more weapons, and each class has different number of weapons they can carry. I think Barb can carry like 4 weapons, for example. But what's different about this is that the build diversity is pretty high. The reason is that every piece of gear has a talent that they call it division or aspect that is rolled here. So there's no brand sets. However, there's talents, and you can put any talent on any of these pieces of gear, and you can combo them in any way. In Division, you basically have the brand sets, but the only thing with talents is your chest piece and your backpack. You only have 2 pieces to combo anything, and then your 2 weapons, obviously. So here you have all your pieces. What is this? 6, 8, 11 pieces to combo any kind of talents together, working together. So I love that about this game. And everything comes with 3 attributes to start with, at least legendaries. And then the new update they have is this ability to add 2 more attributes on top, and you can see here I have 5. So that adds another level of diversity to the game because you can customize a build to these various what they call tempers and categories where you can add whatever you want in these different categories. And these categories are amazing because it's a random. So, say you're wanting to roll, crit damage or something like that here. So you're going to pick this marksman finesse, and you're going to roll it. However, there's only a 1 in 4 chance to get that. And you're only limited to basically 7 rolls. So once you roll 7 times, that piece of gear is bricked, right? So it's really fun because there's a randomness aspect to it. It's not guaranteed, but once you get it, it's awesome. And you have your piece of gear with 2 additional attributes of what you're looking for on top of it. Okay? So that's good. I think that's the first great part about this game is the build diversity. And, they know stuff is broken, like this dodge per chance build, but, the developers here actually want the players to have fun, and they don't actually nerf anything, So that's the best part. There's a lot of broken builds in this game, and that's why PvP, no one really plays PvP because, you can just come in with a broken build and either no one can kill you or, you're just like too powerful. The second thing is this game has quite a lot of stuff to do. So you can see here there's many zones, and this open world there's all sorts of stuff to do here. There's the PvP areas. There's another area called Helltide, which is not active yet, and that's where you're going to have basically unlimited ads coming you at every second, where you're going to farm. And then all these different dungeons are essentially almost like missions, and you can level up your character, right, to level 100, and you can, the highly customized part of this game is this Paragon board. You can imagine a board game where you have all your skills as each dot, similar to the Shade Watch, but this has full customization to what they call glyphs. And these glyphs are additional powers you can put on each board, and based on how you position all your how your points in your board powers this glyph. And so once you have enough points to max out all the Paragon points, you can build a full board that kind of synergizes together to maximize the glyphs, number one, and basically supporting your build that you're going after. This part takes a lot of work if you want to do your own. There's a lot of boards that YouTubers have put online, but it's pretty cool in my opinion that adds just another level of diversity to the game, where you can basically customize it any way you want for every one of these things that boosts a part of your character. Okay, so back to this, and then the other thing is I wanted to highlight is this concept of uber uniques. So in terms of gear in this game, you can see here you can get a couple things to start with. So the basics when you start the game is going to be these purples, which is basically junk. Then you go to rares, which is the second level, but you can see there's only 2 attributes. And what you really want to farm for is, of course, just normally legendaries. So these legendaries get you 3 attributes. But you can see these gray items, or pink, whatever you want to call it, are uniques. They're sort of like equivalent to Division2 exotics, but it's going to be called uniques here. And they have these special talents that do things that are, sort of one and done, and you can't roll these. You can't change the attributes. You can't temper them. They're just pretty much the way you get them. So that's uniques. Now there's this next level, the final level, which is uber uniques. Uber uniques are basically items that have a 3% chance to drop. Before the last few updates, these items used to be so hard to get that maybe 1 or 2 people in the world would have these items. But they made a change where it's actually more obtainable now, where it's 3%. So you can't really tell the difference until the next update, what are uber uniques and what aren't, what isn't. But once you get one, you're like basically super powerful. For example, this is one in my stash that I got. Imagine you have a piece of gear you put on as your helm. You get some nice stats, you get some max life, cooldown reduction. But look at the talent, 20% damage reduction, but you get +4 ranks to everything in your skill tree. That is like OP. So each one of these Ubers just does something like crazy, like this one, for example. You get to steal life for 2% every time you attack someone and damage them. So that's unheard of in any piece of gear in the game. But once you get one of these, you're basically pretty powerful. This is a new one where this is like sort of a defensive piece where you add more resistance than you're capable allowed of 70%, so you can go above, for example. So this kind of like breaks the barriers of the game and allows you to like continue to be like more powerful. And then Doombringer is another one I just showed you, which basically adds, wealth amounts of life if you're going for that. This is another one called Starless Sky, and this, for example, like basically reduces your mana cost for any of your skills by quite a bit, and increases damage. So another super powerful piece. So there's more here. I put it on my other characters, but I think the cool part of that is that these things are pretty hard to obtain. There's a 3% chance, and you're forced to actually, in order to get them, do these end game bosses. So there's one here. It's called the Grigory, and there's another one here. The tree is called Varshat. And then once you get the materials for those guys, you go down here to do Duriel. And since then they've added another boss, which is Enduriel's. It's somewhere here in the middle of the map, like right here, and that's spawned by a ice boss and also I forget the other one, but there's another one that you basically farm those two and you get to this different boss. And once you beat this boss, you have a 3% chance of getting an Uber unique. And these materials that drop from these sub-bosses is as follows, right? So you get these dolls and shackles, which spawns the Endurials, and then I don't have any shard or eggs, but that's also something that would drop to spawn the final boss for Uber uniques. So.
Sometimes I did something.
Oh no! Yeah.
You survived?
Now you win. Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh shit! That's crazy.
Wow. Wow.
What the hell?
Wow. Oh, wow.
Alright, so that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about today. And, I've enjoyed this game. And what I love the most about it is basically the developers listen to the players. There's tons of changes that come out every patch. Comes out every 2 weeks or so, 2 or 3 weeks. And you can see here they have new seasons every couple months, right? So if you see the season here, ends on August 6th, and a new season starts with complete new changes. Now, the one thing I don't mind that they do is basically your character resets. Every character you have, in your list, is basically going to what they call into the Eternal Realm. And Eternal Realm is basically the world where in the game there's basically no seasonal things. It's just the base game. And so these are some of my old characters in the Eternal Realm. And what happens is that you have a chance to, if you don't play the Eternal Realm, you could delete the character, or if you do play it, you keep it, right? But what's nice is every season they come up with really sort of game-changing things where you start with a new character and doesn't break everything from before, which is awesome. So I actually like the seasonal reset model, and I think Division is coming out with that. I think it's healthy for the game. I have a 7,000 character shade level character in Division, and it's pretty much like the same thing, boring, with new changes that come and sort of break everything from before. I'd much rather start a new game and have brand new features, changes that doesn't break the game, because there's really nothing to break. Everyone starts from the beginning. So yeah, I think Divisions, if they followed the Diablo model, I think it's a great sort of like model where they can push out more changes without having to do regression and QA testing from the beginning. And the Diablo players and the devs really listen to the players. Like I said, they pump out new content every couple months. There's even a new expansion coming out with a new class called Spiritborn. So, I imagine playing this game for quite some time. I've been quite disappointed with Division in the last, 2 years since that team moved to working on Star Wars Outlaws. I might play Outlaws as well, but, we really need a Division 3. I think at this point, Division 2 is, it's still fun. I love PvP. I love the movement, but is it really fun anymore? No. And the game's dead. There's no one in the dark zone anymore. You're lucky to find, 2 people in there for doing something where they don't even want to fight. They just want to farm. So there's really no point in that game, I believe, until like actual new content comes out. For example, they need a new map somewhere. I think how they moved to the incursion was a good step, and that was, from what I know, done by Shanghai Ubisoft. To be honest, that group that built also the China version of Division made a great change to that game. They actually have new content in that. They should just port Division 2 to the China team and have them build everything for the US folks. And just have the people at Massive work on Division 3. So that's my outlook on Division. I still play it time and time, but I think Diablo has a lot going for it, and they should learn from this game. So with that, this is my only build video probably for Diablo. There's a lot of great YouTubers for Diablo, and they make great content with like top tier builds and this and that. So I tend to just follow them, and they work. They work pretty well. You can see here I've even created all the characters. I have a barb, a rogue that I just showed you. I have a sorcerer. I have a druid, and then I have a necromancer. So yeah, with that, that's the end of my video. Hopefully you enjoy some of the clips I posted for Diablo PvP. Not a lot of them, but just a few. But yeah, I hope to come back with actual Division content when there's actually new content to make builds out of. But for now, it's good to see you all again, and yeah, hopefully everything's doing well for y'all. Talk to you next time. Bye.
Let's see, Banish Lord.
Ring of Starless Skies. Oh
Yeah. Nice.
I knew it was a curse on those characters. Oh shit. Oh my god. I got 2 Ubers in one drop.
What was that? What's the other one?
I got an Endariel's too.
Woo! Snap!
Fuck. I didn't even
Wow, bro.
realize it. Oh my god.
A bogey.